Good morning. Welcome to another Will's Taco Tuesday. It is March 24th, 2026, and I am excited to welcome several of our really excellent Will's vendor partners here for another Taco Tuesday. So to get us started off, I am going to stop sharing my screen and introduce Marty, our friend from Maris Education. Marty, I've stopped sharing. It's all yours.
Great. Thanks so much, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Marty Dombekon from Capstone and Maris Education. Thanks for inviting us today. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoying a lot of March Madness. We've had a very busy month and we love it. We're just keep us busy. We're very happy to help all of your membership and anything that you need. You can reach out with Wills, contact us, and we've just been, great partners for a long time. Really appreciate that, Jeff. So thank you very much for including us today. I've got some slides to show for Pebble Go and for a little bit for Symblue, kind of get that thing for a fresh launch here. I'm going to put those on and hopefully everything comes through. We're going to do the screen share here and kind of flip that over and see if we can get this going. Does that look good to you?
Yeah, it looks good so far. Yeah,
So
I don't
it's
know. I don't know,
We have
Marty.
almost a full screen.
It
So we
looks a
have
little
like
cut off,
close.
but let's
I
just go
think
with
it's the dimension.
it.
So we'll just go with it. But yeah, happy Taco Tuesday. We're happy to be part of it, and thanks for inviting us. We'll give you a quick overview today and give you just kind of an update on what's going on with Pebble Go and how we've updated, kind of refined a lot of the pieces that you've been very, very much using and kind of giving you an idea here where you can go more for the content or more for the digital tools on top of the content. And that would be Classic and Premier. We've got the Spanish and the ebooks that are optional and great, great add-ons to your Pebble Go subscription. We've got some wonderful support options that are free and free resources and some great opportunities with the Capstone community that we've just launched over the last several months. So it's a lot of cool stuff. And I'll give you just a little update on our partnership with Symbaloo, which just started this month. So we're really excited to be working with them. Great ed tech company and just really nice folks. So we've got a lot of good stuff here to share, and I'll just kind of quickly go through. Um, let's see here. If it looks like, is the screen sharing still working, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still seeing the Pebble Go Will's Taco Tuesday kind of landing page, like your first slide.
Okay, I'm trying to get this so that it continues forth because I did go forward with another slide. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go pretty much verbal today, and I'd prefer to do the graphics.
What we were seeing, it's not ideal, but if you we were seeing it pretty well when you were in the editing view. I mean, I know that's not preferred, but you could kind of go slide by slide that way, I
I
guess.
know, I know exactly. Um, yeah, because the things that I'm pressing here are not having the desired effect. I'm on Apple Keynote here, and yeah, it's it's giving me a little bit of a challenge today, and I apologize for that. We haven't had this issue before. How does it look now?
Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, we definitely still see that weird kind of this thing on the side.
Yep.
I
Can we kind of go with it, or do you want
think
me
we
to do
should I think we
verbal?
should go with it.
Okay. Well, there's our agenda that I had planned for today, and I'll give you the abbreviated version, and of course, we can have any extended conversation with any of your membership, at a later time. Just contact me, and we can give them a really nice overview of everything. So the PebbleGo suite covers all the content, and you're very familiar with that. I'll kind of get to the nutshell here. When your PebbleGo renewal comes up with Wills, Amy Remington is revising our quotes to now include the animals module for free for PebbleGo Next. So if you're a PebbleGo subscriber, you might see it look like Classic now, where it was PebbleGo and PebbleGo Next as kind of like separate entities. Now we're sort of looking at it as one entity, as Classic. And if you had Next before, you're automatically going to be getting that brand new Animals 3.5 module included in your subscription at no extra cost. So that's really nice. And if you have Spanish, you also get Animales. So you get both languages. If those are currently part of your subscription, you automatically will get that great new content. Part of the Premier is this is where you can add those digital tools. This is where you have, when we launched Connect and Create, Capstone has now simplified that. So it's all part of one package called Premier. So there's Classic, where you get all the content, and then Premier are the digital tools. So Create is that digital workspace, the maker space for your students to work in a very safe environment, in the PebbleGo environment ecosystem. And the educator tools are going to be curated collections, project-based learning, and a lot of really nice things that really expand out on our content. So if you're just interested in the articles and all the research skills that take place there, PebbleGo Classic is the way, and that's still very much the heart of what we do with PebbleGo. But Premier is kind of that overarching digital tools to really expand the reach and give your students and also your staff and your community a lot of access points where you can really tie together into that great content and really up your usage all the way around. So it's a lot of good things to consider. We've got all the recognition. We've updated the navigation. You'll see it's a little more streamlined. This is something that with the refresh, we now have that green ebooks icon is now on your home screen. So instead of a tab on the top, now it's part of the home screen. So this is to make sure that students are not bouncing back and forth between PebbleGo and PebbleGo Next all the time. It's keeping them kind of in one spot. And then if you go to the home page, then you can go back and then you can say, all right, now I want to go into ebooks, or I want to go into that digital maker space with Create if you have Premier, or dive into the educator tools if you're signed in as an educator. So it's a lot of different things. They've kind of streamlined it, but everything's housed here. It's the same sign-on that it's been, and everything really comes together under that really popular hub, the PebbleGo. All right, so I'm going to go to a couple of slides here and just highlight a few of them for you, just to keep the things moving along here, keep us on our timetable. We've got that animals. PebbleGo Next Animals had tons of requests for this, for higher level animals. We've got it now. So it's just fantastic. It's already included in your renewal. So you don't have to worry about paying more. It's already in it. If you want the Spanish version, Animales, if you have the 3.5, which we launched in the fall, that's awesome. It's already in there. It's included, and it's going to be your 7th module. That'll pop right in there at no extra charge. So that's a really, really good option here. And if you don't have the PebbleGo Next Spanish, take a look at that one. If you want to see the trial, I've got that coming up here at the, toward the end here. And then just ask WiLS if you'd like to add that to your renewal. And that's easy to do. So we've got the PebbleGo Classic, PebbleGo Premier, PebbleGo Spanish, which is the optional part, and the ebook bundles and the Capstone ebooks. We've been getting huge interest on Capstone ebooks. This is something that if you buy them once, they stay in your collection and you own them. So it's really nice. No matter what happens with your future, budgets and so on, these are keepers. So let us know about the ebooks if you want to get some information on that. We have a terrific special for PebbleGo subscribers to really get a nice deal on that. So we have the Create, which is the digital maker space, and this is coming from Buncee. So it's originally Buncee, and now it's all part of PebbleGo Premier. And that's that safe workspace, digital maker space for your students to create their own work based on PebbleGo content. And you've got a lot of nice organizer tools, project boards, different things to link in with your SSO and your rostering. It's totally compatible with Clever, ClassLink, and also Google Classroom. But the biggest ones we get requests for are Clever and ClassLink, definitely in Wisconsin. So we've got a lot of good connections there. Connect used to be called Capstone Connect. Now it's called the Educator Tools. And what they've done here, which is kind of cool, is they are rolling out monthly curated packages of project-based learning around different topics. So March they just loaded a bunch in, and April they're working on some more. And this kind of gives you an idea, a little preview of what's coming. And keep an eye out for those because those will automatically be part of your Premier subscription, and you don't have to do anything extra. They just appear and they're going to be there. So you've got some ebooks, you've got some articles, you've got some activities, you've got lesson plans, and it's all part of the package. It's really a nice setup. And then, of course, you can do your searching by the state standards. If you want to look up, Wisconsin second grade science, you can do that, and you can see everything from Pebble Go that correlates. You've got a way to click on your favorites. You can make your own collections, and you've got all those activities and lessons that now we're really loading up with a lot of great stuff. That's part of Pebble Go Premier. So if you currently have Classic or Next or any of the original Pebble Go, ask WiLS to see about the Premier quote, and you can expand those. So you have that full digital access and all those great digital tools that are included with the Premier Step Up. That is our top level of Pebble Go, and it's something where you just get everything. So it's worth taking a look at. There's a lot of great stuff there. We have the ability to custom build your digital library. So this is where you can do your collection development on ebooks. And you can pick out anything from 8,000 different ebooks that Capstone produces, and you can put together a list and send that to us, and we'll get that right back to you as a quick quote. These are normally $39 a piece, but with Pebble Go and with WiLS membership, it's only 15 per title. So it's a really great deal, and you own them. What's cool about these is they're all access. You don't have to do any holds or loans or waiting. If you have 50 students that really want to read about axolotls at the same time, no problem. You've got it. You can just have that book and everybody can access it at the same time when they're all interested in it. So there's no holds, no wait list, no frustration involved there. It's all good. So it's a really nice package there. Some of the content that we have with a copy link, when you're getting it directly from Capstone, you have that copy link so you can share it out with Canvas, Seesaw, Google Classroom, whatever you're using in your school district. So that's what's cool is you can copy those links to your ebooks or to the Pebble Go articles and really make your own collections and then share them out with all of your second graders or all of your fourth graders or whoever you're working with. It's a really nice package. We've got the Help Center. These are all free things for you. The admin support, they've updated that. I mentioned the integration with Clever and ClassLink and Google Classroom. That's all free of charge. So you just let us know how we can help your district get that single sign-on going. And Trey or Carrie or one of our really talented tech support folks at Capstone will be very happy to help you out there too. Also, the usage reports on demand now. This is something that we used to have to go and request an Excel run or a report run. Now you can do it yourself anytime you need to see what articles, what ebooks, what's getting used. Your educator tools, everything, all the pieces that are part of Capstone Pebble Go will be housed there, and a lot of home community support too. So those are all the rostering. I'm going to kind of buzz through quickly here. I want to give you this, and I'm not sure if we can see it. This is your free password to get you access to all of the 8,000 different ebooks. This is good for another couple of weeks here. There's the login and your password, and everything is ready to go for 8,000 different ebooks. So have a great time with that one. That's excellent. Here's another free one is now we can be Pebble Go certified. This is a course that takes about 2 hours. It's free and it's on demand. So you can hit pause, you can come back to it and redo it. If you want to be a complete Pebble Go expert, this is the way to do it. So please, I invite you to visit the Pebble Go certification page, and it's part of the new Pebble Go community. And they're launching Pebbletown and some other great stuff. So if you have a chance to sign up, that's a really good one. I'm going to flash up here our choice boards from Symbaloo. These are very, very helpful and another free resource for you to take away. So if you want to go to Symbaloo, and this is a new partnership that we have with WiLS, we're delighted. And we do a lot where we kind of cross connect, kind of cross pollination here. This is an example of my Symbaloo page where I've got all the capstone links all put right together onto that same page as we have with our other publishers and our state organizations. So this is something that I did. This is a free resource through Symbaloo. If you want to do your own page, you can do that, but you can also do the way where you can get it to share out with all of your students. And that's something that WiLS has, and you just ask for the district quote. Symbaloo is the gathering of ideas. That's roughly translated from Greek, but that's the origin. And those are the different versions that you can get through WiLS now at a nice discount. So that's all the information. I'm going to end there and give you back the time here, Jeff. Thanks for your patience on the getting the slides going. I hope that came through to your satisfaction. And of course, if there's any follow-ups, we're very available, and you can find us, call us, or ask WiLS with any questions you have.
Thank you, Marty. I think it looked great. I wouldn't worry about it. We're very happy to have you. And tech things happen, right? But it's still very
We
informative.
roll with it. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thanks for having us here, Marty, or for joining us here, Marty. Okay, so
Thank you, Jeff. We
we're gonna
appreciate it.
no problem. We're gonna move right along. Tim Powers is joining us from ClickView. Tim, I can see you're all queued up and ready to go,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna turn things right over to you.
Thank you, Jeff, as always. So this is, I believe, just about exactly 1 year since we did our first Taco Tuesday with WiLS. We are new to the partnership since just about this time last year, and it's been a really fun and interesting year working with Wisconsin school librarians. Not only getting to learn more about what the needs are in Wisconsin and how we could support, but to those that we have worked with, it's been more impressive the amount of updates and movement we've made in the platform that has been inspired by those that we have worked with in Wisconsin. So instead of just doing a standard walkthrough today, I wanted to kind of take my 10 minutes and kind of bake it around what we've learned in our time supporting Wisconsin schools for the last year. And I believe this may be my fourth Taco Tuesday, and I think it's the first one that I've actually successfully, and hopefully it will be successfully, have been able to integrate the concept of tacos into, because I've said I'm going to do that since day one. So just at its highest level, ClickView is a platform for video-based learning, short-form video in the library, in the classroom. The concept is how can we advance what is a tool that we have used in the classroom. I am 48. I still remember having Duquesne projectors in the library to do Edgar Allan Poe, to date myself. How can we take a concept that has been supporting classrooms, teachers, educators, students, librarians for so many years and advance it so that it continues to kind of push? And as I said, I want to talk about specifically some great things we've seen happen in Wisconsin as people have started to look at, well, how do you take video and more importantly, the concept of interactive video and push it forward? So with that being said, let me go in here. So what are we doing at ClickView? Our ultimate goal is to help schools get more out of video. So the concept is, as I said, video is already being used everywhere. We've been using it in the classroom. We've been basing it out of the library. Students have been using it on their own to kind of expand their education for a long time. But are we really getting the most impact or consistency that we need out of it? So when we look at video use across a school or across a district, very often different teachers, different librarians, different coaches have different approaches. There are multiple tools going on. So it's really hard to find if there is a way that we can have consistent impact across a learning environment. And then probably most importantly, most use of video is still passive. And that's something that we're trying to kind of challenge people to think beyond. Instead of just having video be sit and get, can we make video something that is part of the active process of learning? So in Wisconsin, spending a lot of time with librarians, we've learned like the library is kind of the hub of bringing that consistency into schools. So the library is really where an expanded, better approach to using video as part of education comes into play. So when we start things at the top from the library, we're not just providing video access, but we're starting to build a structure of how video can be used more consistently and more impactfully across an entire school or an entire district. So instead of everyone pulling these resources from different places, what we're really getting is the ability to give everybody kind of a consistent starting point. And as an example of that, I want to talk about one of the teams that I've worked with in the last year, which was the team at West Pair. So they've been a partner of ours for the last year, but I had the great opportunity to interview their library team for a blog that we were writing on our end. And what really stood out was how they kind of embodied all of these things that we think leads to great video use in the classroom. Um, while talking to them, what we got to learn is that they see video as this impactful kind of conduit, bringing education from the library back out into the classroom. So what they saw is that, or when they were breaking down how they work, they talked about how they work so closely as librarians with the teachers at all levels, K through 12, not just supporting them with resources, not just saying, hey, here's this thing, we have it, you could use it, but really helping them see how they can integrate video in as part of their instruction, really kind of going into more of an instructional coach role from the library. But what really stood out about this group was consistency. Having a library team that really worked together, K through 12, in the variety of different buildings. And what you see is they built a progression of learning that starts in the library, affects the teachers, and then conversely affects the students from K to 12 all the way across. And part of what they're doing is using video right now specifically to unpack complex concepts. As teachers are coming in and saying, hey, kids are having a struggle point on something we're learning here, they're helping them see how do you use interactive video to really break those things down. Beyond just the library, well, what does good video use then look like for teachers and students? For teachers, our concept at ClickView is we're trying to help them effectively and efficiently find better resources in the classroom. So the whole platform has to be set up for them to find the right video quickly. To add questions, every video in the platform can be made interactive. Can they add questions that tie the video to their direct learning in under a few minutes? Yes. And then getting them to use video the right way, again, which isn't just sit and get, but as a means of expanding the learning. And then the concept for students is let's make sure they're not just watching. Let's make sure that those questions allow them to respond as they go and really be able to use video as an extension to their learning. But then most importantly, ClickView as a library needs to be something that those students can go into and use video as a research tool. So they need to be able to go in and search on their own. They need to be able to find those safe, secure videos that work for their grade level, help them unpack a topic, and even then create a citation on it. So how do we make video also a research tool? So just to give an example, I wanted to say, like, well, what happens if you had a cross-curricular team in your school come up to you and say, hey, help us teach a unit? So hypothetically, this is a middle school, and you have the business teacher and the health teacher and the science teacher come in and say, hey, we are going to challenge our kids to build a new taco that can be sold at our taco store. Can you help us find the right resources for them to brainstorm those ideas, design their products, figure out how to make it and sell it, how to make a prototype, all the things that go into those entrepreneurial skills? So what I did was I went into the ClickView platform and I started to play around if I was in the perspective of that librarian. So I went in, started to search. I started to search for entrepreneurial schools. I started to search for tacos. I started to search for Spanish language and starting to see all the different videos that I can go into. Where I really ended up playing a lot of my time was I went into our entrepreneurial skills section and I started to say, hey, what videos are going to help kids really be able to break down some of these different pieces? And what I did was I went in as the librarian and I created a playlist. So when you're in and exploring all of our videos, you could create playlists. I went in and created a Taco Tuesday playlist. And what I did was I made this so it's something that those teachers can then share out with their students, because you could share playlists because everybody's going to be single sign-on authenticated, whether that's ClassLink, Clever, Google. And we're going to be able to share out a series of videos. So what I did was I shared a video first on, well, how do you recognize opportunities? How do you plan a business? And this is an interactive video where the students are going to be doing questions. Then I went into, well, what are the traditional forces in driving, food driving forces? Like, how do we make new ideas in food? What makes us think we need to make a better taco? And getting students to understand that. And then maybe as an exit ticket for that day, we have students for homework get assigned a video that gets them to understand, well, where does the food come from? What's that farm to fork relationship? Then I had a fun one. Well, maybe we teach them how to order Mexican street food in Spanish so they can actually tie that kind of cross-curricular piece in. And at the end, we get them to plan and look at, well, what happens after you have a successful product launch? So all things that we just use video to build out an extended lesson for these students. And this is the kind of thing that we are bringing forth in Wisconsin. So via our WiLS partnership with ClickView, in the last year, we have had just over 40 districts now bring ClickView in as their choice video platform. We are supporting districts of all sizes, from the big Kenosha's down to small single school districts. We're working with everybody, and we're finding that it is really allowing librarians to lead that change in how video is used in the classroom. All of our purchasing is done directly via WiLS to make it simple. And just knowing what time of year we're in right now, as we get to the end of the year, one of the things we just want to make sure is if you or your library team want to get in and have the ability to explore around, we just want to set up access accounts for your library team to go in and see where ClickView might be able to support. Where you also get me to kind of help you plan that out. But again, if it is something you want to explore in your library, just shoot an email to me. I'm going to put my email in the chat, and I could get access set up for your library team to just get in and explore what the resource is for the rest of the year. I think I brought myself almost to time there, Jeff. If there are any questions, I'm going to hang out. You can ping them to me in the chat. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. That way, if you do want to set up some of this access, you can reach out to me right there.
Thanks so much, Tim. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing good on time. We're a couple of minutes ahead. I will kind of reiterate, if anyone who's live with us now has any questions, please feel free to drop them into the chat. Actually, if you've got questions for Tim or Marty, we've got a minute or two here. We could field questions. Tim, yeah, it's really been a pretty big year for WiLS and ClickView. I mean, we've done a lot already this year. It's proven to be a real popular new offering on the WiLS portfolio. So I'm very pleased with the partnership so far.
Yeah, and just for as somebody who supports the entire country, I will just give a big shout out in my last minute to WiLS as an organization. I work with lots of organizations everywhere, and I have never worked with a group that is more dedicated to supporting their people. So pleasure to work with you guys.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say that, Tim. I'll make sure that that you get your check. No, I'm just kidding.
I already have my WiLS coffee mug. It's good.
Great. Well, anyway, thanks so much for joining us today, Tim. Okay, I'm going to share my screen very briefly here just to kind of queue us up for our next presenter, who I see is here and probably ready to rock. So coming up next, we've got Adam joining us to talk to us about Educate Station. Adam, are you all set?
I'm all set, Jeff. And I'm still waiting on my WiLS coffee mug. I don't know if that's in the mail.
We'll have to figure that out. I'll look into it.
Okay, great. So yeah, I will go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, can everybody see it?
I do. It looks good.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Educate Station, we've now been around for a couple years, and we have just now surpassed 400 public library subscribers in America. So we're really excited about that. We're continuing to grow. As you can see, we have a full curriculum pre-K through fifth grade. Below that, you'll see the subjects that we offer and the standards that they're aligned with. And those are some awards we've recently won, which we're really proud of. And now I'm going to go ahead and just sign in. Okay, so the resource it's really helping public libraries support their homeschooling families, but there's a lot of other purposes for it that we're finding more and more as we work with libraries. Also, it's a great supplemental resource for local schools as well. So the resource right now is divided into two major categories. You can browse learning plans or worksheets. I'm going to go ahead and just click on a grade under Browse Learning Plans. Then you have the ability to browse by week or subject. I'm going to click on Browse Learning Plans by week. So this comes in a recommended learning sequence that simulates a full school year, weeks 1 through 35. This is the recommended week 1 curriculum for first grade. You'll see the subjects and the topics that are covered. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on View PDF under Science and Solar Systems. And this is your printable packet. Your patrons can print this out either in the library or at home. You'll see it comes with a description, standards that are addressed, objectives, materials needed. And as I scroll through the packet, I'll get through the body of the learning plan itself. And then towards the bottom, there's at least 5 worksheets for the students to do throughout the week or the month, depending on what the subject is. So it's a resource primarily designed for homeschooling parents and local educators to access. There's minimal screen time required of the children, which can be quite a point of contention nowadays, in case anybody hasn't heard that. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on another one as well, just to give you an idea. Here's a math one for first grade, counting to 120, going through the learning plan. And then towards the bottom, here are some of the worksheets associated with this packet. And then I'm going to go back to home and I'm going to show you some worksheets. I'm going to click on kindergarten. So you can follow the recommended learning sequence with the learning plans, or you can just come here and search for any kind of worksheet that you're looking for. As you can see, every subject has its own row with the View All button to the right. And every worksheet has 3 buttons. There's a view to get a better look. If your patrons see anything they want to print out, they simply click download. And if they're in a position where they cannot print it out, but they want to keep track of it, they can click add to my classroom. And that allows them to save and organize the materials as they like. And for an example of that, I'm going to go to the top of the page and click on my classroom. So there's an add folder button to the right. You can add and name as many folders as you like. And there's a few example folders here. So if I click on one of these, you'll see what it looks like if you save some materials. And we have an edit button to the right. You can move them up or down your list of priority, or just click remove if you've already printed it. So one of the new areas that we just added to is the art area. So we've added that as a new subject. These are topical and seasonal work activities, worksheet activities that you can do. It's a great way to bring homeschooling families together in the library, as to use it as sort of a community hub. So I'm just going to click View PDF on a simple one like this. So this is learning Cubism with Picasso, the materials needed. And yeah, it just takes you through some fun little art projects, gives you some ideas. We do have seasonal activities there. So you can find something applicable for springtime, summer, whatever season you're in. And also there's some fun topical things as well. As far as who creates our curriculum, I'll click on the About page. Our managing editor is Lily Jones. She holds a master's in education from UC Berkeley. She used to work for education.com, and she's written articles for publications like Forbes. She's a well-known educator, and there's more about her team of educators here as well. One major development that I wanted to bring up is by August, we'll have an early reader book series in here. It'll be similar to the Bob books. So per one printable page, there will be 4 essentially Bob book style pages where the kids can cut them out, assemble them, color them, and have their own early reader book series. And also with that will come parent teaching guides on how to teach reading and some phonics-based worksheets to help reinforce what they're learning. So we're really excited about that. Also just wanted to mention, yeah, with a subscription, we have an admin section where you can monitor usage statistics, also download promotional items like print promotional items or social media graphics. And that is a quick general overview. I think one of the main purposes here is we really wanted to make this as simple as possible. So that's why we have such a simple layout and why it's so easy for me to show to you in such a short amount of time. Um, so you'll see, yeah, with going through this, we really just go from week to week. And obviously, what's more, in my opinion, more intimidating than attempting to homeschool your own child. So that's why we wanted to lay it out as simply as possible. With budget cuts in mind, we are really offering what I think people will be pleasantly surprised with for an annual subscription. And we make it very simple. We price it by service population, and everything is included, including an in-house use and remote access via a link on the library website. And that is a quick overview. I can open it up to any questions.
Thank you so much, Adam. Yes, if anybody who's with us live has any questions for Adam about Educate Station, please feel free to throw them into the chat window. Adam, my memory is that I probably said something very similar when you joined us last time, but I do think resources like this that are designed specifically for kind of serving and helping this population are a little bit thin on the ground. So it's really nice to see something so fully featured and designed for that purpose. I would imagine that now that kind of word is getting out, and I think it's a kind of a growing population, that you're probably getting busier as time goes on here.
Yeah, yeah. As I mentioned, we're over 400 public library subscribers now. And yeah, we're continuing to grow. We still consider ourselves a very new company. We still offer what we call an early subscriber discount. If you get locked in at this early price, it cannot increase by more than 3% per year, regardless of how good your usage is. I think that's something that's really helped us. Also, it's really helped with our renewal rate. So we have just a couple of years of evidence of this, but we're over 98% renewal rate so far. So we're building a very stable business model, and really the intent is to have this available for libraries to share with their underprivileged communities that may not be able to afford a full curriculum on their own. So we feel like we're really doing something for the greater good as well. So.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, we're delighted to have you part of the kind of the WiLS vendor partnership program. So thank you so much for joining us today, Adam.
Thank you, Jeff. And yeah, I don't have any more that I need to add, so we can cut it short if you like.
Well, I will. I'll renew my offer. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them into the chat here. Or if you're watching this on the recording, you can always send us questions here at Will's co-op at wills.org, and we'll be sure to get answers for you, whether that comes from us or whether we kind of refer you on to Adam.
Okay, great.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you, Jeff, and happy Taco Tuesday to you.
Thank you as well. Thanks for joining. All right. So I'm going to kind of share my screen one more time just to get us set up for our fourth presentation. I can see that he's already here and ready to go. So joining us from Ingram, I am delighted to have Brett here. Brett, are you ready to take the reins?
Good afternoon. Yes, I am.
Fantastic. All right. So
So,
you can go ahead and share screen whenever you're ready, and it's all yours.
all right, thank you. Bear with me a second here. First of all, I want to apologize in advance if there's a knock on the door. I am in a hotel, and so what typically happens is when you're doing a late checkout, you've already confirmed it with the front desk. You put a little note on the door, and the maid will still knock on the door and see if you're in the room. So I apologize. And I'm actually in your state. I'm actually in Brookfield right now. And
Whoa, Brett, that's very close to where I live in New Berlin, Wisconsin.
yeah, yeah. So I'm meeting with some folks here and bumping around up here. And then of course next week for everybody, if you're not live and you happen to see this, heading to PLA in Minneapolis, assuming that we can all get there. Of course, driving from here is a little bit easier than the rest of the country has to do that. So,
Sure.
all right. Now, are you seeing the box?
Yes, I'm seeing your looks like the website, and it's got like kind of a search bar here at the top. It says
Yep.
iPage at the top.
All right, let me get rid of the box. Get that down. Okay, there we go. All right, and then okay, and then the screen is gone. The will screen, nobody can see that. That's only me, correct?
Yep, all we're seeing is
Okay,
your
great.
browser
I was
now,
just
I
making
think.
sure. Sometimes they. Oh, great. What I'd like to talk to today is about workflow and how to find stuff on iPage. We try to be as transparent as we can, put as much information on iPage so you don't have to send us an email and then look and see that you get my out of office and see that I'll answer your email by the end of the day because I'm traveling and in meetings, or our inside people, are working on a lot of stuff. So we want to make sure that we put as much information on iPage as we can so that when you have a question, you can find it very quickly and move on. So what I want to do is highlight some of the information points that we have. This is for the new libraries. This is also for our veteran librarians that have been around there that say, I did not know that. And so first, what I want to start is we have reports on iPage. So I'm going to go up here to reports and I'm going to go to canceled items. What this is this will be your canceled item report, and it will be an Excel report, and it will pop up and it will show you what we canceled for you last month. So this will be for everything that was canceled in the month of February. And in this case, and I'm trying to see if we shared that or not. I'm going to do a new share here. Sorry about that window. Bear with me a second. Here we go. And in this case, this library that I'm using had 2 items that canceled in the month. And if we look over here to why, one of them is the title was announced by the publication, but they never, or by the publisher, but they never did it. And this other one, it came up that we hit their cancellation date because of what they had. So it could be reordered. So those are the type of things that we try to tell you. So you don't have to come back to us and say, hey, by the way, why did this cancel? So we'll always try to show you there. And we'll try to do that. We go back now to another window, Chrome tab. Okay. Also under reports, we're going to have invoiced items. And if you click that, it'll download, it'll do the same thing for you. And what this will be is this will be every item that invoiced for you in the previous month. So in this case, if the library wants to see everything that invoiced for them in the month of February, it will be there. When we roll over to April 1st, those 2 report tabs will be populated with information for March. So you'll have your cancellation and your invoice. Also here, you have open items. The open items is run daily. That is a daily updated tab, and it is literally what it means, open items. So assuming that you ordered a bunch of stuff yesterday, and a lot of it was all not yet published, of course, it's still going to be open for a while. If you go to the open items and you look at that, it will show you in an Excel format everything that you had that was an open item that is still waiting to publish and then ship. So those are 3 reports, and they're up under the report tab. All right. Next, if we go to orders, let's go to order status. I get a lot of questions from folks that are saying, hey, I'm looking for a title. I'm looking for, I thought I ordered it, I'm not quite sure. This is where all of your order information is going to be. If an item has been ordered and we haven't shipped yet, it will still show up right here. When you open up this screen, the first thing that comes up is all of your open purchase orders. So some libraries may have purchase orders that are open back to 2024 even. If you ordered in advance and you order a lot of travel guides, you're ordering a lot of fiction, nonfiction, 6-9 months in advance. If a title happens to slip and maybe the publisher thought, hey, we're going to publish this book in August of 25, and then something happens with the timeline and it doesn't get published until July of 26, we'll push the pub date back. We'll keep it on order for you. And your PO will stay open because that one title is going to be there. So here's all your titles by PO. You can also click here for all open items. What this will show you is literally that, all open items. And so this will be a listing. In this case, this library ordered on the 20th, and you can see a new designation that we had for backordered future. Now, back in the day, Ingram called anything that we did not have in the warehouse a backorder. This could be a title that had already published, or it could be a title that doesn't publish till next year. We just said if we don't have it, it's a backorder. We're tightening that up a lot more so that we can give you better information. And we've started using a term called backordered future. And what that's telling you is that title is exactly that. It's on back order, it's waiting for you, but it's a future pub date. We're not 100% there yet. We still have some publishers and some titles that as you scroll through that will say back ordered, and those like this title, back ordered, it published on 2/24. That's a pure back order. It's already in print. We don't have it. But you may see some when you look through your account and look that will say it's back ordered, but it's still like right here, back ordered, but it doesn't publish until April. We just haven't got it completely updated yet so that all titles are showing as back ordered future. So that should be coming sometime soon. You also notice other terms, processing. This says shipped. So this title shipped recently, and we haven't updated this page yet. Processing means that the order has been received. The item, in this case, woman's work, the order came in on the 20th. In this case, it came in. We have it. We created a picking ticket for this order. And this order for everything that was already in stock is moving through the warehouse. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's getting processing. It just means that it's moving through the warehouse on its way to get shipped. If you happen to see a title that says committed here, and I don't see any, committed, I'm going to scroll through here real quick just to see. Committed means that we own the title, it's in the warehouse, but it did not go to a picking ticket for a variety of reasons. But you don't have to worry. It's yours. It's going to get released, and it will come the next time we release for you. So that's what committed means. So it is yours. All that information is here. Also, we still get emails from folks that say, hey, I want to cancel some items. Everybody has the opportunity to cancel your own back orders. And that's right here under the back ordered items tab. And if you notice, if you have administrator rights, you have the ability to check the box and then hit cancel edit, and you can cancel individual titles yourself. You don't have to let us know. Now, if an item is committed or processing, it cannot be canceled. Those items are already too far down the line and they are going to ship. So we can't do that. Another new feature that we have that we have a lot of folks that don't realize it's there. and it tells you all kinds of information. It's the Find My Order button. So in that case, let me go find an older order here. Bear with me a second. I'm going to say orders, order status. Let me jump out here. So let's look at this order right here, Youth January 2026. I'm going, whoops, sorry. Thank you. Bear with me a second. Didn't mean to do that. Bear with me on that. I didn't mean to split that. Now, of course, I cannot figure out how to get this, close this view. Sorry about that. So I'm going to cancel, I'm going to copy the PO. Copy. And I'm going to paste it in the Find My Order button. And this is probably the one thing that I probably do more than anything is tell people, have you looked and Find My Order? And I'm going to click the purchase order number. And I'm going to paste that purchase order number in there. And I'm going to say submit. And when I do, it's going to show me the details of that order. So they're going to start right off the bat and show me every item that I had in that order. And it's going to tell me when it invoiced, if it has. If it has not shipped yet, it's going to tell me that Warriors Changing Skies #3 is going to be a 3/31 is when we expect to get it in the warehouse. But we're going to tell you everything about all the items that are in this order. 102 is going to publish, as you can see, on 4/14. And so on. So that's how you do it, and that's Find My Order. And you can do it for a PO number, or you can do it for an individual item. So you can always look and see if you're like, did I cancel that already? I can't find it anywhere. Do it on Find My Order, and if it's within the last 90 days, it will pop up right there. So that is Find My Order. Other issue that we're seeing a lot of, especially for new users, is how do I look at lists? You click lists, and I was working with somebody today, and that's what happened. As you notice, I'm in the active list folder, and I'm sorting over here by last edited date. So that's going to put my newest list to the top, and I'm looking for all the lists in the folder. So that's going to be public list, shared list, my list, whatever. So anything available is going to be in there. Where we run into trouble is folks don't realize that maybe they've got a setting that says private list only checked. And as you can see, all the lists went away because there's no private lists in this folder. So all lists in the folder. And if you want to make it easy to see the ones that were touched more recently, you can do last edited date. And you can do that, and that will push the newer ones up to the top. And then finally, as my time's coming down to the end, we have a lot of times that say, I've got a lot of lists in iPage, and I've been looking around and I can't find them. If you go up to the top when you're in the list tab, and you can see that here, I'm doing a search for book, but I can come over here and I can search for selection list. A lot of folks don't know that's there. And then you can type in the name of your selection list, or if you're the youth selector and all your lists have youth in them, if I just simply type in youth, it will do a search and it will bring up all of the youth lists that are in there. So that's why we always recommend, if you have multiple users or you're making lists for different parts of your collection, the more specific that you can name those lists, if you want to find them, it's a lot easier to find them than, if you got a lot of lists that are growing on them. So we can look at that. And then finally, the last thing I want to point out is we get a lot of questions from, hey, how do I get my search bigger? So in this case, we're looking for books. Let's look for baseball since the season starts here in a few days. And we notice that we're searching 1 to 50, and we have 13,264 items in there. Well, 50 is an okay number, but I don't want to scroll that much. So I'm going to go up to my account. I'm going to go to change settings. And I'm going to come down here, and all these are settings for you. And the number of items per page, I'm going to change that to 100. I'm going to change that to 100. Oh, bear with me a second. Sorry about that. I got a wonky mouse pad. And then I'm going to say update. And now I'm going to search baseball. And as you can see, now my pages are going to be 100 items long, so I don't have to scroll as much. The default was 25 for new users, for all the new people we've been setting up. So you may be a newer user and you got 25 items to the page that you're having to do. Go into my account, change settings, and you can update that, plus any other setting that you want to update. If you have questions about the settings, email me at brett.doris@Ingram Content, and I'll send you a cheat sheet on how to modify your settings. And with that, Jeff, that's all the good info I've got.
Brett, thank you so much for joining us today. Very great. Always really cool to see you kind of show us, some tips, tricks, how to get the most out of our members' kind of use of Ingram services. So thank you so much for that. I will remind everybody kind of watching that Ingram is a order direct vendor with WiLS, so you're going to be working directly with them, but do make sure that you're if you're just getting started or reaching out, make sure that you're letting them know that you're a WiLS member. Okay. And here we are. It's going on 12:30, so we've come to the end of another Taco Tuesday. Let me share my screen just to kind of bring us into the wrap-up phase here. So thank you first to all of our presenters. It's really, I think it's a great value to the members, a real benefit to our members to be able to kind of get these updates from our vendor partners about what might be new with their services or how to get the most out of them. So I really appreciate all of our vendor partners for joining us today. Thank you for those of you watching live, or if you're watching the recording, thanks for checking this out. We know that our vendor partners really value the opportunity of being able to communicate with you as well. So it's a win-win all the way around as far as I'm concerned. We have more Taco Tuesdays coming up. In another 2 weeks, we will have a session right here on April 7th with another round of 4 vendor partners giving us brief updates on what's new with their products. Keep an eye out. If you're here with us live, keep an eye out for the follow-up message that will come, usually comes on Thursdays. That'll have links to recordings and any other information, contact information for our presenters today. And another just quick note, we know that we are way into K-12 database renewal season. So the WiLS team is working very hard to get all the renewal pricing out to our members as fast as possible. So please know that we're working on it, and we're always happy to field questions as they come up. And hopefully we'll be done soon. I'm sure you're feeling the same way. So thanks again to everybody for presenting today, and thanks to you for watching, and of course for being a WiLS member. And that's it. That takes us to the end of a WiLS Taco Tuesday. We'll see you next time. Brett's our last vendor here for today. So thanks again to you, Brett, and farewell, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Bye now.
Thank you.